Hey everybody, Poker Dad here. Uh, we are doing a study session in this video. The topic that I am working on this week is river opportunities, and what I'm looking at is if I should be calling or raising. So what these river opportunities are is I have Poker Tracker 4 set up for raise opportunities on the river. And what I'm going to be doing in this video is, as I go through this hand, which it was played at NL10, is I'm going to be looking at my range and my opponent's range. So we'll take a look at the equity between both ranges, and also we'll be basically looking at my range. And when we get to the river, which hands left in my range could I call, fold, or raise as either value or a bluff. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. And I'll be using Flopzilla, and I'll be having Flopzilla go on and off the screen as we go. And I'm also using the Hold EV, I believe it's called, which is the equity comparison tool that comes with Flopzilla. I'm a little bit out of breath. I just did my workout for the night. Awesome 10-minute Tabata workout, so bear with me. Drinking some water, trying not to throw up. But we're doing this for my session tonight. So anyway, as you can see here, I am in the big blind. And we get a limp here from the cutoff and a limp from the button. And I bump up here to 50 cents, which is basically making the standard 30-cent bet, plus 2 for the limper, making it 50. So I'm opening from the big blind, and the cutoff calls. So first, of course, we need to come up with some opening ranges here. Let's take a look at my hand first, and the hands that I would be playing from the big blind and not limping behind, but actually betting. So what I can do is I can actually take this here, which is my open limp ranges, and I'm going to take away every hand here that has a blue dash. The blue dashes represent the hands that I would limp behind with. So I can take out these hands here. And this is going to give me 182 combos pre-flop in my range. So my range is about 13%, which would be raising up here from the big blind. Now let's come up with a range for the cutoff. So the cutoff, I just have standard ranges for these limpers, and this is my standard limp calling range. It's usually very big because, of course, the limper is a recreational player, and this is just the default range that I give them. I just came up with this range. I don't really know how, just basically from what I've been seeing from these different players, and I think this is a pretty fair range. I mean, you could even really include all suited cards, but I'm not going to include every single suited card. So, in case you are curious, in terms of equity to start this hand, this is the equity here. So range number 1 is me, and I have an equity advantage here of 61% to 38%. But pre-flop, that's just pre-flop. Let's just see what happens with the hand, and we'll see how we hand read him and play our hand as well. So out here comes a King of Hearts, 6 of Clubs, and Jack of Spades. So let me just throw that into Flopzilla. I'll do this off screen. King of Hearts, 6 of Clubs, and Jack of Spades. And let's see how the action starts here. So I went out to betting as well I should. So I'm c-betting here on this board. So let's just figure out what exactly I'm going to c-bet. So I want to c-bet 70% of my range. That's my goal here. So to do that, first what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take all this out here, and let's take a look at everything one by one. So the first thing we have is sets, which are going to be kings, jacks, and sixes. So that's about 5%. Definitely going to be c-betting 2 pair, which is king, jack suited. We got 2 combos of that. And of course we're going to be c-betting aces, which we have 6 combos of that. That brings us to 11%. Top pair, we have all these kings, ace king, king queen, king 10, and king 9. That brings us to about 30%. Before we look at any more, let's go find some bluffs here to bet. We have just one open-ended straight draw, 4 combos of king, queen 10 suited. And then we have gut shots and backdoor flush draws. Let's look at our backdoor flush draws first. So we have all these backdoor flush draws. Let's throw these in here. That gives us 57%. And we have our gut shots as well. Before I do the gut shots, I'm going to just... I'd rather do it this way. Let's see, if king, jack, I'd rather figure out my gut shots a different way. More connected. So we know, obviously, queen 10 we already have there. 10-9, we have 10-9 jack, so I like that. 9-8, I don't really love that gut shot as much, so let's just leave that one out for now. And 7-8 I like with the 6. So I'm going to just go with those for now, and if we have to add more, we will. So that gives us 59% of hands. Let's see what other pairs we can bet. We got pocket pair below, top pair, queen, queen, so we can definitely bet that. And our middle pairs are all of our jacks. We can definitely bet those as well. And that gives us 71% of hands. So I think that's pretty good to c-bet. So this is what it's going to look like. These would be the hands that we will c-bet here on this flop. Excuse me. Gotta drink some water. Actually, a little lightheaded. But it's alright. It's all good. It's very hot in my basement, too, so it does not help. Gotta fix myself up before I play this poker session. Anyway, so this is what my range is looking like here. And let's take a look what the villain does. Villain calls us. So let's see what the villain would call with here. So he's a recreational player. Keep that in mind. So he's got a set of 6s as a possibility. He's got a bunch of 2 pairs in king 6, jack 6, and king jack. He has no over pairs. He has top pair here. Of course, he would bet. I think he would bet any pair. He doesn't have any pocket pair below top pair. He's got all his middle pairs with the jacks. And we'll say he would call any 6 as well. We'll leave ace highs out of the equation. Definitely he's going to call open-ended straight draws, and he's got gut shots and backdoor flush draws as well. Let's say that the only backdoor flush draws that he may call are going to be like aces and 10s, and we'll take everything else out of the equation here. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. So hang on. Okay. So let's give him all of the... Oops, I screwed that up again. Let's give him all of the backdoor flush draw suited aces, and we'll give him the kings too. I'm not going to give him anything more than that. Everything else I think he would fold. And this is just a guesstimate, him being a recreational player. We could be wrong, but we'll go with that. So let's say he's continuing with 59, 60% of his hands, which is a lot, but recreational players, and a lot of them are going to be calling stations. So we could definitely think that he would call with this. So we have this as his continuance range. And in terms of now equity, we still have a pretty strong hold on him when it comes to equity. 61% for our range and 38% of his range. Let us go to the turn. So the turn, we get another jack here, a jack of hearts. So let's take a look what happens here. We throw out a double barrel, half pot bet, which is interesting. Almost makes us like we're just trying to keep him in there, possibly not making it a bigger bet. But also, you know, this could be value and it could be bluff as well. I mean, I don't bet size based on what I'm trying to do, so I usually go pretty standard. And I'll usually, I really kind of mix it up. So I really don't have any standard bet size for any situation. I mix up my betting. So I bet here. So let's see what I could be betting with again. Now again, I want to be double barreling with 70% of my range here. So let's, or at least up to 60%, depending on what we have, with some bluffs and some value. So of course we could have quads. although quads, I could definitely see myself checking, slow playing it. Full houses we could have with king jacks, which we have two of those, and we have king king, and we have 6 6 here for possible full houses. Straight, three of a kind. Definitely going to have all these jacks as well. This gives us 22%. Let's see what else we can find. Over pairs, we can bet over pairs now again, which would just be aces. We could find a reason to check aces here if we wanted to really get cute. But let's just bet it. Let's see, our kings for top pair. That brings us 58%. That's a lot. Take out the aces, so it's 52. You know what? Let's get some bluffs in here first. We have flush draws, and we have the open ender. That brings us to 42%. And gut shots. We have ace. We have ace queen, ace 10, and 10 9. All right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess. But we have some of these. We have those in flush draws though too. I don't think we're gonna do that with gut shots. We could almost check the kings here, but like bet the queens here. Maybe bet some of the weaker stuff, but we don't really have too much weaker stuff. Let's see if we just bet the kings here, 72%. All right, I mean this is fine. This is way more value heavy than it is. I like it to be a little more balanced here. I mean, unless I check my full houses, unless I check my kings, I could check my kings too. I could check these here. The kings. And let's see if I just check the kings here. Maybe check the aces as well. And now if we add these gut shots, that brings us to 70%. I think that works. We could do something like that, and check kings, check aces, because we want to have some more. We still want to have bluffs, and we want to be about 50-50 with our bluffs and our value. So I think this kind of works here. Check the aces, check the kings, which I think is perfectly fine. We still could be ahead and call any bet if he decides to bet us here. So I think I'm okay with this here. Sorry, just a little lightheaded and my eyes are getting really heavy all of a sudden. If anyone survived this video, it's been a nice run, guys. And let's see, what does the villain do? The villain calls us here. So let's see. So what's he calling with? Well, he doesn't have quads. He has full houses with his Jack 6, 6, 6, and King Jack. So he's definitely calling that. He would probably raise it, but he can call it too. So we're just looking to see what he would continue with, whether he would raise it or call it. All these three of a kinds, of course. Over pairs, he doesn't have any. Top pairs, definitely. Pocket pair below top pair, he doesn't have anything. His weak pairs with his 6. I could say he can call with all of these here. Again, recreational player, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe we'll get rid of these. Well, you see, he might even keep these hands too, just thinking he might be able to get a full house. So he could actually keep all these hands too. Let's say he'll definitely call his flush draws here. It was a half pot bet, and his open enders, but not the gut shots. So about 81% of his range, I'll say he'll call. So this here is going to give us a range advantage now of 63 to 36. Now for the river, and this is what we're looking to really look at here. A 4 of diamonds comes out. So now we check here. So let's just say, just hypothetically here, that we're just checking with our entire range. While I don't agree with that, and I want to definitely be triple barreling here, let's just say, for argument's sake, we're checking with our entire range here. And our opponent bets half pot. So let's see what he first could be betting half pot with. Again, he has no quads. He's got all his full houses. He doesn't have any straights. He's got all these 3 of cards with the jacks. He doesn't have any over pairs. He has his top pairs, which he could be doing this with. And with the half pot bet too, he could also be trying to bluff us here. So do we think maybe he would even do it with his weak pairs? It's quite possible. Maybe he's just going to do that too. So I'm actually going to give him a huge range here. Again, recreational player, we're checking it. We could be slow playing something here at this point and trying to induce a bluff. So I think this could be a decent idea of what his range might look like. I could be giving him too many hands, but again, he's only betting half pot also. And now let's take a look before I click the next button. Because I may fold here. I don't know what I do in his hand. Let's figure out what we're going to do. What hands now are we going to call, raise, or fold with? And these are the hands we have left in our range. Okay. Let's see. So our quads, we're definitely going to be raising. Our full houses, we're going to raise. I think 3 of a kind, we would just call these hands. Because we don't want to bluff those kind of stuff. Top pair, definitely could just call those. What kind of opportunities do we have here? So, how about... I mean, there really aren't too many bluffs here at all. I don't have too many bluffs here at all, do I? Because to bluff, I'm going to need some blockers here. But with the paired board, it makes it kind of tougher. Like ace-queen. But what are we making if we have ace-queen? I mean, we could make the argument to raise. I think we could raise ace-queen here. I think we could raise ace-queen. So let's look at the ace-highs, because I think the ace-highs are going to be the best possible hands to raise here with, because this means we are blocking an ace. And I think ace-queen is a good candidate to raise here. And the reason for that is because with their king, be a king back out there, and we did weed out the betting, we could be representing ace-king. So maybe our bluffs here would be our aces. The ace-queen and like the ace-10 could be hands that we could bluff here. It's kind of a stretch, of course, but I think we could take these two because we're blocking aces. I mean, in theory, I could take all my aces and just raise with all my aces here. But I'd want to raise with like the best aces, and these would be the best aces I have. So let's do those. And anything else that we may have, I don't think we really do, because of the fact that maybe we can raise up ace-4 too. Maybe we could also raise up ace-4. Oh, why is ace? Oh, ace-4 is not a. Well, yeah. Let's raise up ace-4 too. And the reason I'm going to raise up ace-4 is because I'm blocking a 4, so I can have a set of 4s and have a full house that way as well. So let's raise up ace-4 as well as a bluff. And maybe get some of his top pairs to fold. We can get his top pairs and his weak pairs to fold with like ace-4 or ace-queen. So we can get better hands to fold by raising those hands. So let's do that. and this would be our range to either raise, call, or bet with. So the ranges now as we come down here to the end before I even see what exactly I did is I still have an advantage of 69% to 30%. So now let's see how the hand played out. I do just call it here. So let's see if it was something I believe I should have raised or called with, or maybe even folded. So I'm showing ace king. All right, cool. Obviously that was a hand that I had put down as a calling hand, so I am definitely okay with how I played it. And he had queen 10 offsuits, which let's see. Yeah, I didn't even have that in his range. So we really got him to bluff because, as you can see, queen 10 offsuit isn't even in his range. No queen 10s are in his range to this point. So we definitely got him to bluff. So the check worked here. The check definitely worked here. And I think it was okay. Yeah. I think the check was okay because yeah. I think now I would have bet. I think now I would have bet. Oh, you know, ace king. When did I lose ace king? Oh, this is his range. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. Never mind. Here's my range. All right, ace king is there. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it's. I guess it's fine to check it there. You know, because we could be checking it there, thinking he could definitely have a jack. I mean, we're never folding it, so even checking it, you know, we're never folding here. I think though I'd prefer, instead of seeing myself check it here, I prefer to see myself just bet small, bet a half pot, and just bet this. I mean, as played, of course, it worked out really well because we got him to bluff here. But like, let's say we check it to him here and he like shoves. Then like, what are we supposed to do? We have to fold, and that kind of sucks. I would rather just bet small here and get value that way. Obviously, he would never be calling this hand, but that's what I prefer to do. I don't like how I played this hand, but yep, we won it, so I guess that's good, you know. But let's just worry about process over results, of course. Anyway, that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the video on river raising opportunity. If you like it, so do me a favor, please subscribe. And yeah, leave comments or anything. I really appreciate it. You guys have been really awesome, and I really enjoy responding to your comments, and I try and respond back within within the day, and I usually always do so because I get notifications on my phone. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, PokerDad out.